Here we go, guys. You've been asking for him. By the way, people have been asking me, just so you know ahead of time, Matt. He is qualified for his second Bassmaster Classsic, just qualified for his 2021 Elite Series. Has had some up and downs this year, but pulled through and had just had a great season. You can find him at onum_fishing on Instagram, or go to his Facebook page, Matt Robertson Fishing, or his website, onumfishing.com. Sponsors include Luz, Renegade Marine, Triton Marine, Mercury, anybody else, and Onum, of course.
Yeah, and that's about it.
That he is, you see him here. He is Matt Robertson. Hello, how are you, man?
I'm doing good.
I appreciate the time, man. I know you've been running around with your head cut off, and it's been a challenge here the last couple weeks. Well, it's been a weird year. I guess that's the best way to put it.
Very weird, And I've been running hard this past week between talking with potential sponsors, getting stuff done, and running other places.
I want to. I usually start off by asking about how you started, but talking about sponsorships. When you make this, now that you're making this jump into the elites, are they coming to come to see you now and say, "Hey, look, this is what we can do"?
A little, maybe a couple.
Okay.
A couple we're talking with kind of came. But I think it's the weird year, man. I think it's a lot of companies are scared because of the uncertainty,
Yeah.
Uh, but we're making it work. I'm working with a good group of people on trying to help me out. So yeah, man, we're gonna get it done.
That's awesome. Okay, now tell me, how did you get introduced into the outdoors? How did the bug get in you?
Man, it's whenever I was a kid. I was living in San Diego. I lived out there till I was about 9, and my grandparents. My granddad was in the military. He retired, and they'd go fishing on the weekends. Well, whenever I was like 3, I wanted to go with them, and so they took me. My granddad didn't really want to take me, because you got to think, guys, like this little kid's gonna be a pain in the ass,
Yeah.
and I was. So my grandma made him take me, and I remember hearing a couple stories from him about how we got to the lake and we was there 30 minutes, and I was just
Gotta go.
so I know there's motivation, but yeah, I got into the outdoors through my grandparents and my mom. She took me fishing as well, growing up. So
That's cool.
yeah,
Yeah, I have a 10-year-old, and he's a swim freak. And I used to say to people when I take him fishing, you get a bunch of shiners or shrimp or whatever, and he thinks the best thing to do is go to sit in the back of the boat and just train the shrimp or the shiners. That was his goal, not fishing. But it's how you get introduced. That's the whole thing. So have you ever? How long have you been fishing professionally?
Man. So that's kind of a weird question for me, because if you asked other people, how long have I been fishing professionally? Um, Fishing's been a part of my income for about 6 or 7 years now.
Mm-hmm.
I actually contributed and making a living. Um, Professionally, I could probably say the past 2 years, maybe considering the opens, but me personally fishing, professionally, I'm just starting, in February on the Elite Series.
Yeah.
It's a matter of opinion, and I don't, you know, that's just kind of where I'm at with it. I think I'm just now. I gotta say it. The opens are rough enough and travel enough, big enough money. Let's call it 2 years fishing professionally, going into the third.
We started off in FLW. Was the goal to get into the elites and fish the classic? Because we met. I don't know if you remember. We met 2 years at the classic. I came over when you were in the weigh-in, and you had
Yep.
that mink or the fur coat on, and I was like, dude, you are flat out studding it out. You are pimping it out, dude. And you said, "Oh, you can try it on." I'm like, and I got all flustered, and I'm like, "Oh shit! I should have tried on the jacket." And then you were rushing through to get in to weigh in. Uh,
Yeah.
but was it always the goal to get into the elites?
Yeah, man. That was always the goal, was to get into the elites. And uh, man, I've really, for the past 2 years, I've is the time period I've really tried, and I feel like to get in within 2 years, uh, for me, it's quite an accomplishment, because I honestly, I mean, I deep down I always knew I could do it, but for it to become a reality that quick, I thought I may have to have a little more adjustment time.
Oh, your sound just went out. I can't hear you. I think you did. You get a phone call? Sometimes when you get a phone call, the sound goes out. I can't hear you at all. Do you want to try me? You want to hang up and hit the button again, and we'll try it again? Okay, do that. Okay. Hey, we had a little technical difficulty. As you can see, I'm there. What happens is the software that I'm using, if they get a call in the middle of it, it sometimes knocks out, unfortunately. And he's very busy. He was just on the phone with some other people, so I know that this is a little bit crazy for him. So while I have this, look at how weird that looks right there. So hopefully he'll dial back into the link, and we'll be able to talk to Matt Robertson. I've been looking forward to this one like something else, because it's been really tough for him to get in touch with, because he's just had so many things going on, and I want to talk to him about the classic, about his first classic appearance, and other stuff. So here he is again. We'll see. Let me put him on the right. You there, dude?
Yeah, sorry about that, buddy.
That's all right. That happens. It's one of this. This is one of the problems with this software. I don't know why it does it, but it is. There's a bunch of people saying,
It's all good.
Daryl, Hank, Craig, and are all saying hello, and they're very happy for you. So we were talking about, before that happened, we were talking about the getting into the elites. But how when you got your first bid to the classic,
Yeah,
how overwhelming was that whole experience for you?
dude, it was. Man, it's beyond overwhelming. I can't like. It's honestly a feeling you can't really describe. I mean, I thought it was unbelievable, dude. Like me and my like um I made it at the team championship in Florida,
Mm-hmm.
and me and my best friend Wendell, who was down there with me, we had 12 hours of riding home, and him making wrestling Snapchat videos about it for 12 hours on the way home to Kentucky. Uh, so it was pretty good.
Yeah, when you showed up at the classic, it was, and I don't mean no disrespect to anybody, but
Yep.
it was like you were a breath of fresh air, because
Yeah.
everyone is so structured, and they always are talking always the same thing over and over and over. To have
Yep.
someone come in and just like Ric Flair it, as someone already put up here, it was like I felt like, oh my gosh, I need to meet this dude for sure. So it was awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so we talked about the classic. You're joining the elites. Before we jump right into that, do you feel like you have an overall good experience of fishing everywhere, or what are some of your strengths of fishing?
Yeah. I feel like I have a pretty good, well-rounded versatility whenever it comes to different fisheries. I mean, I usually don't talk about places I've won, but I won at Cherokee.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna consider it a highland reservoir. I won the Bass Nation. Southeast Divisional on Okeechobee down in the grass, and I won the Harris chain fishing offshore. So whenever it comes to versatility, I think I'm all right. But um, one thing I've had to adjust in my fishing being on the road is I'm a big time swim baiter. Like I like to throw 5 swim baits on the deck and really go out there and swing for it. And this year I've kind of gotten back, and I can do that around home. But I've kind of gotten back to throwing all the uh, traditional chatterbaits,
Hmm.
crankbaits and all that. And I'd still do that stuff, but I've had to force myself to put the swim bait down. But yeah, for the most part, I feel like I'm pretty. I cut my teeth on different bodies of water, not just one, and I think that's what's really helped.
Have you ever, in all honesty, 2 years in getting into elites is really a big. That's huge, to be honest. There's a lot of guys that try for years and years and years, and it takes dedication and having and being able to go everywhere. And that isn't. I mean, you can put me in any body of water in Florida. I might do really well. You bring me to some place that's cold, I'm shit out of luck. That's the God's honest truth. So it just shows you're a well-rounded angler, and that's really awesome. I mean, this has been an exceptionally long year because of COVID. How was the ups and downs during the year of not knowing how it was going to work and things like that?
Dude, it was pretty brutal to be honest with you. I actually, whenever Bass before they rescheduled Lay Lake and stuff,
Hmm.
I actually expected us not to have that last open, and they put it in December. I'm listen, as far as moving tournaments to the fall and into the, I'm gonna say fall to winter, like there isn't more of a perfect year that could have set up for me to try to qualify because I consider myself an extremely good fall fisherman.
Mm.
If I was going to pick any time of the year, I want to fish the fall whenever it's tough. Grinders, 5 or 6 bites a day. Um, that's whenever I thrive in those situations. So um, you kind of know some of the stuff that happened to me earlier in the year, getting my stuff stolen, and I also had some other breakdowns. So yeah, some of the stuff going on was kind of nerve wracking. I hate to say this, but I think COVID, as far as qualifying for the Elite Series, helped me out tremendously. I'm probably the only person going to thank COVID, but I'll thank it for that. So,
Yeah, you're the only person. Well, let's
yeah,
talk. Let's talk about that Sam. What it was Sam Rayburn, wasn't it? Yes.
yeah,
You
yeah.
get to Sam Rayburn. Is it you have how was the practice days before the stuff was stolen? How was your practice days going?
So it was going pretty good. I've got on a good offshore bite, brush pile fishing. Dude, I caught a 11 pounder.
I was gonna. That's on my
Um,
list, by the way.
yeah, yeah. I caught an 11 pounder practicing, and I was super pumped. Found some other little schools and some standing timber, and dude, I was feeling good about it. And then my wife comes to pick me up at the ramp, and she tells me all my stuff's been stolen. So, um, and to be honest with you, I know it's gonna sound crazy, but I think it inadvertently affected me during the tournament.
Hmm.
But it wasn't on my mind during the tournament. I kind of, put that aside, and I don't think it affected me too much. But the second day, dude, like I'm gonna tell you, whenever bad stuff like that's happening, it's like a snowball.
Yeah.
The second day, I should have had probably like 20. Like so many bad things
Mm.
happened. So, but
You,
yeah, it was a crazy event.
it seems like maybe that, and this is the worst way to put it. Maybe it made you focus more because you had. Uh, did you go out and just go spend a bunch of money at a local tackle store to get what you needed, or did you have everything already on the boat and just go, okay, that other stuff I'm going to need later on?
No, I was pretty much screwed.
No.
Um, I
I
had
don't mean
like
to
10
laugh, but
packs of. No, yeah, great. I mean, I was. I like had a couple packs of this, couple packs of that, and a local tackle store, the Tackle Addicts. They man, they really helped me out. A guy named Ivan Bach actually gave me a $500 gift card, and I didn't want to accept it. But the guys at the Tackle Addict was like, "Listen, he won this. It's a monthly thing. Um, take it, you know."
yeah.
And let me let me tell you this. They also called me after the event, and a guy named Brian Robinson called me. He was like, "Listen, dude, um, anything you need for the rest of the year, go back up there, get everything you need, and that way you don't have to worry about it." And
Dude, that
dude,
is awesome.
uh, I didn't take him up on it. I did not, just because that's not me. I don't like the. It was hard enough for me to use that gift card, and I don't like the free handouts. I just
Hmm.
don't feel right about it. But just the fact that they offered that, I appreciate the heck out of it. And there's some great people down there.
Yeah, Tackle Direct. That is wonderful that they did that, and the man that gave you the 500 the gift card. That's just unbelievable generosity. God
Yeah,
bless that guy for sure, for sure.
yeah,
What you talked about the 11 pounder? Was it 11.7 or something like
yep,
that? When you
yep.
when you're practicing and you catch your personal best, is there at any point that you're saying to yourself, maybe I should shake this fish off?
No, honestly, well, I tell you what, I threw a crankbait in there first. I seen this big fish follow it out and turn back and go back to the brush on the live scope. And I pulled out an old school baby Huey worm, and I don't even. A lot of people may not know what it is, but it's just old paddle tail worm. And I chucked it out there, and it fell in there, and I got bit, and I've noticed in the past I just kind of scan stuff and don't fish it because I'm used to doing that here at home. But whenever I'm out on a new reservoir, I'm like, Matt, you need to see what size fish is there because it's kind of screwed me before. Like on Pickwick, I found schools of little ones
Uh,
or of like 50, 2.5 pounders and not bigger fish. So I want to see how big they are. And whenever I set the hook and that thing, dude, it cleared the water twice.
did it?
And dude, it was like a missile coming up. And I just that, buddy.
That is awesome, especially practice. And you go from that super high, and then you come back and your stuff is stolen. Did
Yep.
they? We talked about it before this. Did they find some of the stuff? What's the deal that's happened?
Yeah, so a guy named Drew Blower up in Ohio sent me a message, and me and him's kind of become friends. He sent me a message and was like, "Hey, dude, is this your stuff?" And dude, I'm telling you, I've looked at 1,000 pictures of fishing gear, and I appreciate everybody sending it in because that's the only way to find it.
Hmm.
But this is actually my stuff, and it was for sale on a selling app called Mercari, and it's kind of a low key selling app. Well, long story short, I went and the police got a lot of the merchandise back, and I actually drove down there. Me and two buddies left not last night at midnight, but the day before. Drove down there, got the stuff. It was probably a fifth of what I had. I got a trolling motor, my boat seats, a prop, and a one big tub and a couple little tubs. And then we had about 26 hours in that trip of being in the truck. So, uh,
Yeah, that's a lot of
yeah,
time. That's a lot
I'll
of
tell
time.
you, it was burnt. I'm so morning.
Have you looked at
Yeah.
next? Go ahead. Sorry.
No, no, go ahead.
Have you looked at next year's 21 schedule and kind of started to game plan for next year?
Yeah, I looked at it, and I like to schedule for the most part. I'm not too excited about going to the Sabine River. Um, Never been to the St. John's. I would have if we're going to Florida. I would have probably rather neck down to the Harris Chain,
Amen.
Okeechobee, or Kissimmee or something like that. Uh, but they catch them at the St. John's, so I'm all right with that. Like one of my buddies called me. He's like, "Dude, I bet you love to schedule 3 tournaments on the Tennessee River," and I'm like, "Yeah, it's I am excited about it, but I'm just kind of ready to get it rolling. You know what I mean?"
Yeah. Yeah. It's going to
I've
be
learned. I was I was excited about Sam Rayburn last year, thinking I'm going to catch him there, and I ended up having all that stuff happen and not having a great tournament. But and the reason I say I'm not as excited as I should be is I thought Neely Henry and Cherokee was going to be my 2 toughest tournaments, and they were my 2 best. So I'm kind of looking forward to the ones that I think I may not do as good in.
I mean,
So
it's confidence. It's just confidence at times.
yeah.
Uh, you won back-to-back tournaments. What it was several years ago. They were on. Was it on the same body of water? When you win that first one, how much confidence did you have going into the next one?
Man, quite a bit. Um, I mean, whenever you win one, you feel pretty good, and I mean, dude, man, a lot of people don't think it's possible to win every one of them. I have a theory. Like, I think it's possible to win every bass tournament. And I think there's a formula, a way, there's something to do it. It hadn't been figured out yet, but I think there's a way. Um, and I think maybe Rick Clunn might have got a taste of how to do it because he's got I'm gonna call it an idealism of total immersion, like separate yourself from the world. And I'm not speaking for him. The gist of it I get is you pretty much separate yourself from the world, everybody, and all you think about, and that's all you do. And so yeah, I mean, as far as winning the 2 back to back, it's not, to me, it's totally doable. The likelihood of it sometimes ain't there, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I mean, you feel good going into the next one.
Mm-hmm. You know, I have been doing radio stuff for 12 years. In the 12 years, I've probably interviewed 300 or 400 anglers. There have been 2 people who said what you just said. I think I can win every tournament. The other
Yeah,
person who said that to me was Brandon Palaniuk.
yeah,
Having that kind of confidence that's freaking awesome, dude. Seriously. I
yeah. And it's not like, and listen, a lot of people don't know this, but I've known Brandon for, I don't know, I'm gonna say 12 to 14 years. Like, I knew Brandon before Brandon was big.
yeah.
Uh, uh, Me and him roomed together as 2 kids at a TBF National, and it's not arrogance being said whenever we say that.
No, no.
Um, we both believe that you know there's a theory and a way to do it.
Yeah. Have you started looking forward to now that the season's over? Are you starting to start think about getting into not only next year's season, but more importantly, classic mode?
Yeah. So I'm not used, like, I fished the Classic before, but I didn't have a couple big events before then. I can't remember if um yeah, I think we got the St.
St.
John's
John's.
and uh Fort.
Yeah.
So I think like I like those 2 big tournaments before the Classic because I think that's what's going to get you in Classic mode.
Hmm.
Before there, I had a lot of time in the winter time, not a lot of tournaments, and I think the key to doing well is staying fishing. and that's really going to help. You
Yeah.
know.
Do you last year did you just fish strictly, or did you have like a secondary job that pays pretty much helps pay the bills?
Oh no, I'm a working guy, dude.
Yeah.
I'm a blue collar worker. I have a little pressure washing business,
Oh, nice.
and whenever the pressure washing would get a little slow, I got a good buddy that lives down in Tennessee, a couple hours from here. I'd go down and hang out with him and work with him, uh, doing some contracting business. But no, man, I've worked my tail off just like everybody else,
Mm-hmm.
and and then this fall, the last 3 or 4 tournaments, I basically, you know, I'm able to, I whenever I work, dude, I'm working 12 to 18 hour days. That way, whenever it does come time to take off, I don't have to worry about nothing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I was working like everybody else, and come time for the last couple opens, they were kind of strung out close together. So, and that's what I did. I just fished.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it really helps.
Well, I'm really excited you're on the elites. I'm not saying they need a breath of fresh air because I got in trouble for saying that already. I just think that having more charisma and the personality that you have, I think it's going to be. I'm looking forward to seeing you do really well in the elites, and
I
very.
appreciate
I'm very happy for you too. I mean every time you're on Stray Cats, I listen to that. Uh,
it. Yeah.
you're just fantastic. That guy has a great show. So one of these days I'll ask him to come on here and tell some stories. Before you go,
Yep.
favorite lure you like to throw, and if you could only throw one for the rest of your life, or let's say at the Classic you can only throw one lure, what would it be?
Man, I want to say like if my favorite lure, um, I'm gonna have to go with 6-inch Scott Squirrel swim bait. Um, either on a belly hook or a lead head. Um, Classic. I'm gonna probably have to go with a 1 ounce spinner bait, man, on Fort Loudon Teleco.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Are they
or
just
well,
are they going to be stud fish at this Classic? Is it going to be just packed with big fish?
so dude, Ray Roberts, I've heard it's like got magnums in it, like 10 to 15 pounders. But I heard the population up there, and I spent about a half a day down there, and I'm going back down there before the first of the year. Um, there's a lot of standing timber, and I'm
Oh.
gonna guess that population of fish is roaming around in that standing timber, and a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people haven't searched for them. So um, we're gonna spend some time doing that.
Are you
But yeah,
when you
it's
when
got I might say 20 pounds a day wins.
Oh, that's a good thing. When you get down there, are you going to fish, or are you just going to live scope it and you know whatever your sponsor is for uh underwater kind of stuff with that, that stuff. I my brain's dead right now, but you know what I mean.
No, you're good. I will tell you this. Um, I'm not going to have any electronic sponsors because I'm running multiple units,
Yes.
and ain't none of them going to allow that. So, and I'm still running my old HDS 10, and that ain't going to fly. So I'm not even messing with that. I'm just going down there idling, looking for isolated stuff, getting trails through the standing timber in case I need to get back through it.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's kind of, and once I get down there, you get to doing a little fishing, maybe get a little pattern together,
Mhm.
and having the trails through that timber will allow you to run that a lot easier.
Yeah. Like I said, dude, I appreciate the time today. I love that you shoot it straight. I love the confidence that you have. I love the confidence that you have and the charisma. And I can't wait to see you just. I think you're going to do very well next year on the Leets. I think you're going to do very well. And I just like that you're coming in and you just. There's a lot of times we do these interviews. I try not to swear, but you want to know what? If you swear, you swear. But I like
Yeah,
watching your Facebook page and you just shoot the shit straight. I love that.
yeah,
So,
yeah. I think a lot. Some people don't like to cuss them, but what you have to realize is I grew up in and a military family. My granddad was in the Navy for 24 years. So I grew up around, pretty much sailor
Yeah,
cussing. I mean, it's not that we mean nothing by it, dude. It's just part of our vocabulary. So it just is what
exactly.
it is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I have the sign right back there. Maybe swearing will help.
Right.
The wife is always on me about it. My son's always on me about it, so I don't do it too much. But sometimes you just got to say shit. Sometimes I just
Yeah.
have to say it. Okay, well,
I'm telling you.
hopefully before the classic, maybe we can do this again and just do a classic
Yeah.
show. Good luck next season, and thank you for the time, man. I really, really do appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me on. I had a good time.
Thank you. I'm gonna say goodbye to everyone, but just hang on 1 second. Everyone, before we go, make sure you go to onumfishing.com. Go follow Matt at onum_fishing. Go to his Facebook page, Matt Robertson Fishing. I'm buying one of the hats. I'm telling you, I'm buying one of the hats today, and I'm gonna wear it next time we have an interview, just so we're twins.
Awesome.
I won't
That's
have
right.
I won't have the flowing hair, but it will be twins.
Yeah.
Anyway, everyone go check him out, follow him, and thank you again. Guys, remember to take a kid fishing, get your fish on. We will see you soon.